legitimate concern, and we actually hear that pretty often. So we've dealt what we have the Brighton Center way of doing things, and really what we do is follow our core values, not just within our organization, but we take them out to the community as well. We honor the relationships with everybody that we can. One thing I tell parents is that unless you're going to homeschool your child and have them at home 24/7, you have to collaborate and cooperate with the school districts that you're having these meetings with. Sometimes that can be difficult because of high emotions, right? Our children are the most important things. So as a father, I know I've been frustrated at times. I know I've, had to really control myself when I didn't fully understand what was going on either in the meeting or the paperwork. So what we do, one is just offer clarification, right? We clarify what some of that language is, but a lot of it is also complicated, right? So we break it down, through documentation, but the most important thing we do is either rebuild or maintain the relationships that parents have with their child's education community. So teachers, principals, different administrators, service providers, right now they're overworked, underpaid, understaffed, and we know that. So we try to maintain a balance between accountability and grace. We understand right now it's not easy, right? But our kids do need to be educated. So we try to find that middle ground, and we try to educate both parents and professionals. And then sometimes we joke and say it's like couples therapy because we get people to communicate again. We get them to be on the same page, and we try to reinforce that relationship. Sometimes we even find ourselves advocating for teachers in schools because as parents, again, I've looked at stuff and I've misunderstood, and just being able to have an outside point of view to tell you know what, the paperwork looks good. Maybe we just need some clarification in a couple of areas. That really goes a long way. But the most important thing we want to do is maintain our relationship because if we muddy the waters and then we leave, there's still a child there that needs services. We haven't done what our responsibility is. So really honoring relationships goes beyond just, that's a core value that Brighton Center puts out there, but it's really something that we live by. We put a lot of weight on it, so we're there to help out.
I had a parent reach out about how to book a consultation and what the process is after that. Could you kind of walk us through that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that sometimes you guys help parents that may not be as tech savvy in filling out those inquiries into our program to try to book a free consultation. So what I recommend is that parents go to our website, brightonsa.org, and go to the Inquire About Services page. They'll find different categories for our different programs and for special education support. What I would recommend, if they just have a general question and they don't know where to get started, they can literally ask us a question. There's a button that says that. I will get that email and it'll show me the question that those parents have, and I can answer that direct or contact them and give them a little bit more context. Or they can book a free consultation, which is also the button on our website on that same page. When they book a free consultation, that will also come to me. I'll look at all that information, I'll input them into our data system, and then within 48 hours, they will get assigned to a consultant, and then they'll be contacted through email and through phone. They'll get an email, and sometimes, unfortunately, those initial emails will go to their spam folder. I highly recommend parents will check their spam folder if they haven't heard from us in about 48 hours. From there, the consultants will reach out and book their free consultation. They'll ask parents if there's any documentation that hasn't been submitted when they make an inquiry through our website. If they haven't received an evaluation of the plan itself, or parents haven't outlined specifically what their concerns are, they'll reach out before they even meet parents. That way, by the time they get to that first meeting, they're already starting to engage with them. Once they get to that first meeting, they'll sit with parents, develop an action plan alongside parents, because again, they're in the driver's seat. We want them to feel that from the minute they come into work with us. So they'll come up with an action plan with actionable items to take moving on, and from there, some parents are ready to do it on their own, and then they can reach out if they have questions or whatever. But really, from there, parents usually stick with us, go to the different meetings that there are. We support parents, and we kind of see it like on-the-job training, kind of, because yes, we're there coaching, advising in those meetings, but it's parents making a decision. And we're not going to tell the schools, oh, this is what they want, this is what they want. It's like, remember we spoke about this. So sometimes there's scripting involved, sometimes there's additional resources put in, and that way by the time parents get to that meeting, they feel empowered, they feel in control, just a little bit more confident.
Awesome. How important